Hi everyone! You might or might not have heard of the Prohibition Act that forbids non-Canadians to invest in residential real estate in Canada. And since a lot of my viewers are non-Canadians, I thought I'd shed light into the matter. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can still purchase real estate as a non-Canadian. If you're new to my channel, I make a lot of videos for people who are looking to relocate to Montreal, mainly the Montreal communities and the Montreal real estate scene. So while this video might be helpful to non-Canadians who are looking to purchase anywhere in Canada, this will be mainly from the point of view of the Quebec province and the Quebec province law. So let's get started. So before I give any information, I just want to let everyone know that this is in no way legal advice. These are information that I found on the internet, that I found talking to other of my clients who came here from another country, that I found talking to a lawyer or an immigration specialist. It might not be 100% applicable to you, so take what you want, leave what you don't, but definitely discuss with a specialist before you do any dramatical life change. So first of all, what is the Prohibition Act? It implies that non-Canadians cannot purchase residential real estate in Canada. And while originally it was only for a short period of time between 2023 and 2025, it has recently been extended to 2027. And basically the goal to this act is to put a rein on foreign investors coming to invest in our country and driving the prices up. And while Montreal's prices, they might be high, but they're still very affordable if you compare to other major metropolitan cities as Vancouver and Toronto. So it is not a permanent Prohibition Act, but as I said, it has been extended, so we don't know if it's gonna stay like that or they're gonna extend it even further once 2027 approaches. Despite all that, as of 2024, we can still purchase residential real estate in Canada. And here are the four main ways. The first one, and the most common one, is that you must have a valid work visa or a valid study permit that has more than 183 days of validity remaining on your permit, so up to 6 months approximately. This, however, requires a proof of intent that you are going to permanently settle and reside in Canada. Second way is if you're planning to purchase a residential property or a vacation home. So cottages are still allowed under the Prohibition Act. You can also purchase residential properties for the purpose of development. And then the last of the most common ways that I've seen people invest in Canada is if they're investing with a spouse or a common law partner that has a citizenship or a permanent residence. Except there are many other exceptions that can allow you to purchase residential property under this Prohibition Act. So the most I'd say 80% of the time where I see this play out is if there is a family or a young professional who is going to relocate to Montreal for work and they're planning to reside here. They're purchasing a house and they're on the way to obtaining a permanent residence. If that is your goal, there shouldn't be any problems when it comes to purchasing a residential real estate as a non-Canadian. I've also seen cases of people purchasing real estate with a study permit. That's definitely not as common as with a work permit, and it's definitely harder to prove that you are going to permanently reside to Canada with a study permit. So finally, when should you not purchase a residential property in Quebec? So I know I blabbered on about how great Montreal is, how cheap Montreal is. Purchase in Montreal instead of Vancouver and British Columbia or Toronto. But there are some cases where you shouldn't purchase here. I'm saying this because I had a case recently where my client went through the whole process. She found the house that she liked. She got pre-approved for the amount of the house. Her financing went through. And when she contacted a lawyer to verify from documents for her immigration and her permanent residency, he said that she shouldn't buy that house. Why? Because of path of immigration, meaning the path leading to non-residents to permanent residents, strictly said that she could not live in Quebec. As you know, the Quebec province is the only province in Canada where French is the primary language. There's a lot of history here. There was a point when a lot of Quebec residents wanted to become an independent country outside of Canada. The residents of Quebec are very protective of their French language and their Quebec culture. That's why there's a lot of laws implicated on every aspect when it comes to marketing, immigration, and really any aspect of life you can think of with the implication of French and English knowledge. So going back to my client. So basically her path of immigration said that she cannot live in Quebec in order to have her permanent residence. The path of immigration probably varies from people to people, from country to country. She was a resident of Southeast Asia, so not French knowledge is not very predominant over there. Probably that's why her path of immigration specifically said that she could not live in Quebec where French was mandatory. The fact that she would be a property owner in Quebec would demonstrate her intent to stay in Quebec, which would hinder her path to immigration and obtaining her permanent residency. Now, I know that not all paths of immigration have this clause. For example, if you're in a country that already speak a lot of French, like France or countries from North Africa, they don't tend to have this clause. But I also know some people from China coming here to purchase a property despite being a permanent resident, and they never really had any delays during their path of immigration. So it really depends on your situation. As I said, I'm not a lawyer or an immigration specialist. I'm just giving you all that I know from working with people who are non-resident coming to purchase in Montreal. So before you purchase here, make sure to go step by step. Don't go house hunting before you even know if you're allowed to purchase. Moving to another country is a big move. I know it's a stressful situation. So if you want to have any guidance, or if you want to have names of some of the specialists I know who specifically work with people in your situation, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to lay down any names that might be helpful for you. If all that is good and you're already ready to purchase in Montreal and you're already in a house hunting mood, you might want to check out this video where I talk about the cheapest places to live in Montreal. And if you're going to Montreal soon to visit some home, I know it's summer, a lot of people are taking the opportunity to do that. Don't hesitate to book a discovery call with me. And don't worry, it's a free consultation. And here in our team, we don't charge buyers anything to work with us.